Hello everybody, Forest is here. Today with some kind of outdoor testing as I normally do for this folder Zero Tolerance 0203, and we will do some little comparing with slicing against its ancestor. So which of these two is better, I would say. Important is this is a folder, so I will not baton with it. I will do just a little bit of batoning, but I don't want to do baton with this knife too much. I don't know this lock, by the way. Okay, I said I'll try this, how strong the lock is. And as I said in my room, something about the how to get out the knife, to deploy, I would say, out of the pocket. So how fast can I deploy it if somebody will think about this knife like kind of self-defense tool? Because as I said, I think this is not the best choice for fast drawing. Let's start with that. So standard carry. I haven't trained that, but you get the idea. So not really fast, right? So as I said, the most important thing is, when I got it there and I want to grab it, I have to go over, so between the pants and the knife itself with my thumb, then grab it and pull it. Sometimes, like now, it won't release, but as much as this one doesn't want to go out, I want to squeeze it more because I want to have stronger grip to take it off. But the problem is that I'm squeezing the pocket clip too. So I'm squeezing it. It means I work against myself. Only if I grab it here, especially on this about 1 centimeter area, then I will not squeeze it. But the problem is it is really small, tiny area, so not definitely something for fast gripping. And what's important, if I do it right and I will deploy it out of the pocket fast, then I'm gripping like this way, so very weak grip, far to be ready. Just for your imagination, this is that AK1, so that in pocket, this is my left side, so my weak, and that is something to consider. How fast is that? Not only how fast can I deploy the knife, but it's really ready. So, but that's fixed blade, and this is 4 inches about blade. So again, wow, yeah, that's too slow. 5 inches blade, much faster to be ready. So definitely not comparable with that, but we know that I can deploy the fixed blade faster. That I put it there because I want to show you this one. But now, what about the ancestor of the knife? So see the deep pocket carry position, and see here, there is the space about 1 centimeter, something like that, where I can grab it. And the knife is more bulky. Thanks to that flipping possibility to open the knife, it is much quicker and of course much secure, because I'm here. I'm not pressing, not squeezing the clip. Let's do it with this Spyderco, which has made 2.5 times bigger this portion, but it's not absolutely easy. But again, it's not a flipper. Faster. Definitely the flipping possibility to open it, because when I hold the knife like that, just move it there and hold it securely and flip it, or actually that will be auto. We open it, that it will be faster. And last thing is the Emerson with the wave. Yeah. So this is absolutely the slowest knife for deploying out of these. This one has the advantage of this one. It's a little bit tight, so that's why I need to use my the flick movements with my wrist. But anyway, for this open, if that will be, this one will be flipper, I think it will be better, even more secure, because there will be the guard. So if the lock will fail, whatever, from whatever reason, it won't close, or at least it won't damage fingers that much. Of course, the squeezing of the finger will be anyway not nice, but to do it with a blade, actually cut off those fingers, will be something definitely different. So that needs to be considered for somebody who want to buy this knife. It's great, but not for this one. If you got it in your hand, that's changes the situation, because it's long. The blade is relatively long. I mean, for fix folders, sorry, and grip is absolutely nice for everything that. So we're gonna see. So I'll take off out these. Let's start what I do normally. I think I can't make sparks out of this. Oh yeah. So my bad. I can. Wow, that surprised me, guys. We're gonna carry on with this. That's nice. Well, that is something really what surprised me. But the most important thing before we start is, moment. So I broke this. Not nice, but there's some level of leather. So we'll see. Ten times. I centered. No problems there. This is the PVD coating, so this is not the toughest coating on knives, but okay. Now the hard part. How strong it is means how safe it is. No play. By the way, from the start, there's minor, but as I said, I mean minor play, because it's folder. So definitely, you see that this one, it moves, but compared to the Spyderco, there is really, I don't know if you can see that, but this one really moves. That's something what say, okay, this is not the toughest knife I want. This one, how centered is that? It is nice, no problems there. So seems to me, yeah, everything's fine. That's nice. That's nice to know. See those scratches there. Okay, then I said it's all right. So how this one cuts, that's why we're here now with the testing. You won't see me again too much, but you will see this one, I hope so. So if you want to have it like, let's say, your only day trip knife, or maybe secondary level, or like a small knife or fold to your fixed blade for this fine slicing, yeah, absolutely fine. What about this one? Wow. By the way, I used only ceramic rod to put there the original edge after all those testing I've done before. Nice and grippy. What about this one? Can I choke up here? See, this one seems to me like it is made for that, but I'm not sure. If I'm here on the spot here, yeah, here on this one, of course, well, it's not, it's all right, but definitely I need to be careful. So if I really want to use it in this way, maybe I'll take a sharpening stone and just take this small corner off, just like that, and that will be fine, because there is no, it's deep enough to keep your index there. That's important. It's not something like you slide there, especially if you want to do something like, you know, that's why if I will use it, so that's why I will use it in this way, so to get, you know, these secured fine cuts and slices, which is great for such a knife. By the way, that's why also I broke this very fine, this is a half thin, the secondary bevel, half thin, same wood, so 0.3 of millimeter. Should show you how good this knife is to do it, especially now for the final task. It is all right. For the comparing with this, yeah, I've changed the grind, by the way, here on the secondary convex, as I normally do. Yeah, this one is fine. This one is harder, but it's sharp enough and not thick, and the grip is nice, tough. Then it's all right. Each of this one slices better, of course. It bites more easily to wood. This one removes more material. How are you, sweetie? Do you like to cooperate with us? Oh. Not my doggy. She wants to play. Sorry, guys. I wasn't at home yesterday, so she wants to play a little bit more. So you know that if you got a dog, you know what it means. By the way, so this is nice, but this is somehow more secure when you got it in your hand. That's nice. By the way, as I said, what about this one? I've changed the grind on it. That's important. This is really much better cutter than it was, or slicer than it was before. So the handling, the recurve, of course, helps when you remove material. This one removes more material. Thanks to the grind, you have to, it's a higher secondary bevel, so you have to twist it or turn it a little bit more down, so you remove more material. Here you can do long slices So with more smooth angle, shallow angle, you can do this one more easily than this. When you use this one, you have to turn it more down, and then of course it removes the material. So with this one and this one, thanks to this one fills your palm better. So when you squeeze this one, you got like full palm. You feel you got a tool which fills your palm, so it's definitely secure. You got it there. This is different. This is like, you know, these kind of saber grabbing on this for this one. So when you squeeze it, of course you don't have the belly here, but it's thick and in general sized enough to hold it securely. Yeah, yeah. And something we shouldn't do with a knife. Somebody said with a knife you shouldn't, but not with a knife, and definitely not with a folder. But this is a test. Added some stress to the locking mechanism. Yeah, in the center again. I try to feel the lock, how it works. Seems to be all right. No change. I feel nothing like changed. Of course, if I will do it normally, I should button with the folder like this one. Of course, this one, save the pivot, save all those moving parts, and do it in this way. And do it as freely and as close to the wood. I mean, in this way, of course, to get less, avoid a leverage to that. So nothing, guys, nothing. Nice. Shavings. This is of course ideal wood for that. Dry it, spruce, what else you want. Hmm? This is not that fine blade, so it won't turn down too more to the wood where I get thicker feathers. It's something I don't want, but I guess a good idea how it works. Okay, let's try this one. Let's try this one, guys. It's not ideal. I know definitely better spark throwers. Yeah. So I had I haven't expected that to do to this one because there is the coating, of course, and these things, so it doesn't work usually nice, but it works. Not the best. I'll try find if there is another spot. This is the safest spot because it's close here, and there is the round spot for that. Seems to me this is the best spot for it. So yeah, you can start fire with ferrule. You play more, so if there will be some scale and 10 is the best, this is definitely wasp. This is definitely moment. Sorry guys, so if I have to kind of rate how good spark store this is, where 10 will be the best, this is gonna be probably, sorry, I needed to move the camera, this is gonna be probably about 4, max 5, let's say, something, definitely no more, but you can do it. That's something that's important. Okay, by the way, what about this 0200? It's better, and you know why? There is a spot here, there's the false edge, and where it ends here, there's nice, this rounded spot, this corner, I would say the rounded corner here has 90 degrees with full thickness. So on the false edge, it's worse, but if I go to that spot, it actually works better if I throw sparks exactly on this spot than this one. And there is not, unfortunately, there is not such spot somewhere here, so I can't. Okay, last thing I want to do is, if I do notch for whatever reason, where it is, how nice carver is that? I need to bite in, so also what I check is how the spine works against my palm, against this, because this spot, this is usually hot spot for many knives. See how I hold the knife, not really here and not here, somewhere in the middle, so closest to the blade or to the edge as possible. Now is the part where I can choke up, go forward, and let's say a bit improve the angle. Now I'm just looking for tiny. This is great. Now the choking up. Yep, was important. Okay, how this one works without weight, I'll just try just those movements there. Of course, that's the one thing when you got this one, when you got the recurve, it's hard to get, of course, straight surface. So, but this one, it has higher secondary bevel, as I said. So just for imagination, that one was, I spent a long time on it. So, but this is slightly worse for that because the secondary bevel, you feel it. So, was it everything what I wanted? Yes, probably yes. So, if you ask me about this knife, how good it is, okay, compared to this one, better grind, definitely better grind. This one is thicker, seems to me. To be honest, I haven't checked that. What do you say? But if there is difference, yeah, seems to me this one is thicker. Somehow, about 1 millimeter maybe, yeah. So with this one has longer grind than this one, and this one is thicker, so this one has steeper angle. So that's why it's more tough, probably. 154 cm steel. Great holding, secure. I feel more secure where I know that this one falls down, then I got this guard protects me against closed blade on my fingers. There is not something like this. So okay, but it works. You see, we see in some tests, and that one as a slicer, nice for holding this position, of course, for stabbing if needs to be. Yeah, just with the stabbing, I feel, you know, this hook here goes against my middle finger, because I hold it in this way, so it is exactly on it. So this one, well, I can grab it. It's probably done because of that. Yeah, yeah. How the PVD coating holds? Yeah, maybe it goes a little bit off. Not that much, but this is not DLC. It's not DLC, so it's all right. But as I said, for the holding, it's a relatively thick blade with, as a folders, let's say if I compare it with Victorinox or some real folders, I would say those slices better because they are in general thinner. For this, what it is, it's surprisingly, it slices surprisingly well. Really, it looks like huge. I say it's kind of tactical knife where everything will be tactical, so you won't have tough edge. It survives something, but it's not as good slicer as we need for folders. This is something I think on a border where it goes, as I said, it's on line between these tactical folders and practical folders. I mean, for slicing, not the best slicer, but as I said, it really closes that area where it goes. So if I would change the grind, and I saw a video, some guy did it, if I would change the grind and put it secondary convex, which I'm not sure because I don't think this one needs it, then it will slice a little bit better. Maybe it falls to that category of better slicer, but anyway, it slices pretty well, seriously. This lock I'm not used to in these locks, so I don't know how to trust it or not. Sorry guys, moment. So 12 o'clock, lunch. Anyway, as I said, the gripping, everything is all right. For standard using, this is kind of bonus. This is kind of bonus to hold it in this way. That's great. So I like it, seriously. This is, for me, very secure grip for cutting, slicing, and I'm close to the blade, and this one makes a small ramp, which is relatively comfortable for the index for not long time cutting, but you go really close to the real edge, which really helps to remove material, and it's all right. I more press or squeeze this area because it's curved, so it helps that with my pinky and ring finger, so it works more. So I squeeze it more here than here, so that's why it's not that uncomfortable. So it is really great for that nice color. I saw it for definitely for 450 US dollars, and even more. I bought it for about 300, let's say, which is, it was kind of discount price, not much, not big discount, but it was there some. So yeah, for this folder, for such big materials, G10, CPM M4, and these materials, everything's nice, zero tolerance, so great, I like it. And that's why, because I wanted to have this one. I said, okay, I need this ancestor that, oh sorry, this next generation of that. So there is lots of nice in zero tolerance, but none of them speaks to me like this one does. So that's why I came for it, bought it, and I'm glad. This is knife. I'm glad I bought. This is something what really fulfills me. Only downside, as I said, don't forget about this. This is not meant to be. Probably, maybe my skills are not good enough to deploy as fast as I need it. This knife. So for self-defense, something like you need to, like first response, not really. But when the second layer, I mean, you do something, I say, okay, I got enough, I had a gun. You say, okay, I don't know, and then I take something, I got a knife or something. Yeah, that's changing situation, because there are still a few seconds, 2-3 seconds, and you got it in hand. In fight, a real fight, we know 3 seconds is a very long time. But when you got those 3 seconds to deploy it, then you got something substantial. And this is not something, even this is fast in hand, this is not meant to be, at least in my eyes. But this is definitely by design. Looks like kind of self-defense tactical blade design, something like that. But with the grinding and everything, absolutely fine for lots of things we can do. We do outdoor things, and this is something which will go with me for my next hike, because it's nice and I like it. Thank you very much. Have a great time. Bye.